highlights this week. First and foremost, our friends at the Oregon UAS Accelerator, the Unpersoned Aerial Systems Accelerator, drones and things associated with drones. Could be software for drones, could be counter-drone technology, could be something that uses drones as part of its service delivery. All things drones related. The accelerator out there in Pendleton, Oregon has their applications open right now for their next cohort, but you gotta act quick because they close on July 19th. So please remember that. If you're working in drones, if you would like mentorship, if you would like flight facility to test droney-like things, then you want to go out to Pendleton and go through the Oregon UAS Accelerator, no matter where you are. It's one of the best drone accelerator programs in the world. If that's of interest to you, please apply. July 19th is when those are due. Let's see, what else? The Platformr out of Bend, which is kind of a services company that helps people with AWS, makes it easier to onboard with AWS and maintain AWS. Of course, by AWS, I mean Amazon Web Services. So if you're using Amazon Web Services, if it's too complex, if you're worried about your security, if it's just too hard for you to manage, maybe take a look at Platformr out of Bend. Our friends at Agility, used to be Agility Robotics. They have the robot called Digit that does the warehouse work. The CEO of Agility Robotics sat down with TechCrunch to kind of talk through the upcoming IPO and what it means and what the future of Agility looks like. So I'll link that one up so you can read that if that's of interest to you. But that's going to be a huge IPO for Oregon, likely this year. So that also kind of plays into some of that QSBS drama that we've been dealing with from the Prosperity Council side. But a really good interview, super interesting. The CEO used to be the CEO of Magic Leap, was at Microsoft. I believe she was one of the first hires that Satya made, and she was a high-level exec there. So really good conversation, really worth your time to understand what the future of robotics in Oregon might look like. And that's coming from TechCrunch. I had the opportunity to chat with Kira from Canelo and did one of their startup stories interviews. So I encourage you to listen to that. Great conversation, great discussion on company culture and how it starts and how you maintain it and all those kind of things. So if building a good culture is important to your startup or company, please listen to that and learn a thing or two. And then a handful of new products that I was able to write up. There was one that was Token Jam to help you deal with token pricing, because this billions and trillions of tokens for pennies on the dollar is not going to last forever. So you kind of want to check out Token Jam and see what they're doing. You stop token maxing and start being more, judicious with your token spend, and because that's likely going away sometime soon. So it kind of reminded me of Cloudability from back in the day, where it's like they helped you understand and manage your cloud spend. This is more focused on tokens with LLM. So super interesting there. Corey Loftus had built an app that I saw quite a while ago called Droplet that is super interesting if you're in the Apple ecosystem. So if you run a Mac and you have an iPhone, what Droplet does is basically make your iPhone a remote control for your Mac. So almost like bookmarks, but on your phone. So if there are files you always use or things you're always trying to find that they're somehow buried somewhere and you have difficulty finding them, or you just want them at a moment's notice, you just boop, 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 boop on your phone, boop, 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 on your Mac. It's simple as that. And you may even get those sound effects if you want. So there's that. Scamp caught in the Portland startup Slack in the Hype channel. So love the Hype channel there. The Hype channel on Portland startup Slack is really designed for self-promotion. So if you're a founder, you're on the Portland startup Slack, you're like, hey, I built this thing. I'm kind of proud of it. Or I vibe coded this thing. I'd like you to see it. Or won't somebody please pay attention to the product I built? The Hype channel is the perfect place to share those kind of things, and that's where I found Scamp. Scamp is a Figma alternative. So if you are a UX UI designer who works with front-end folks, and you're kind of stuck in this trap of you design things in Figma, but then when they're implemented in code, you lose things, you miss things, things don't quite work out like you like. That's what Scamp is designed to solve. It helps UI UX folks deliver assets to front-end developers in a way that ensures that the design fidelity remains true throughout that transition process. So if you're a UI UX developer, or you are a front-end developer, or you're a UI UX designer, I encourage you to take a look at it. Funny aside here, there's a pile, the company was called Stand-In, and they developed something very similar, but for mobile app development back in the day, way back in the day. And I tagged both of the founders on it. And just because I was like, oh, hey, this kind of reminded me what you used to do. And it's, simplifying design and the technical aspects like Stand-In used to do. Stand-In also went through Techstars, so you might know them from there as well. But the headline I wrote was like Figma Schminga, because it's a Figma competitor. And unbeknownst to me, because I wasn't paying attention, one of the co-founders now works at Figma. So, I took open mouth, insert foot. That's basically what that was. So, live and learn, all those kind of things. And then finally, I had not been tracking on this. I apologize. We missed the early bird tickets. It's expensive full price tickets right now, but the React Native conference, Chain React, will be in Portland at the end of July. Tickets are upwards of right around $1,000. I mean, they're not cheap, but they are the biggest kind of React Native gathering in the US, with all kinds of notable figures. And our friends Annie Sexton, who, Pi alum, but also does a ton with Code TV, and our friend Jason Langsdorff, and Brittany Ellick, who has the Overcommitted podcast. She was at GitHub. She is now working on a lot of Blue Sky related at protocol kind of things. They are doing a workshop as part of the Chain React event. Their workshop is free. Now, I'm not sure if you have to pay for a ticket to attend the event and go to their workshop for free, or if anyone can just go to their workshop for free, but it's specifically focused on women in tech and kind of putting your ideas out there and being present and doing all of that work. So if that's of interest to you, we'll definitely link that up and check it out. And if you're a React Native developer, I apologize. It's full ticket prices, but you should go, or maybe they'll have some ancillary events of some sort that you can attend while people are here. Maybe, just maybe, we should have a social beer gathering while folks are in town. There are all kinds of potential opportunities. We got a week or two to figure that out, which is years in the startup world. So just know Chain React coming to Portland, a lot of React Native people in the city. They'll be in the Pearl. I think it's at the Armory and a variety of other places. So just wanted you to know about that event coming up. Okay. That's all the fast. Quick